We're here to define what a man is, right?
Responsibility creates struggle. Struggle creates strength. And strength creates structure.
How many people care about what people think about them? Be honest.
As a man, you got to be able to protect not just yourself, but your family.
When we talk about being a man, it's your behaviors.
But I don't say any of this to brag. I don't say any of this to gloat my life up or I'm better than anybody.
I start crying. I'm like, why am I crying? And so what I realized was,
you put yourself in a target-rich environment. You are the only woman that paid for a ticket to come to this event.
if you're trying to teach your daughter to be around a certain man and you're not that man yourself, she gonna choose you.
Hey, let me not touch this nigga. He too clean. Where is that on you?
It's not on me.
It's not on you. The only reason why it's not on you is because you didn't choose it.
Find the women who can actually help you build. And here's some deep game for you. You don't have to have sex with all of them.
Since 2016, I've been following Lucario and Miles. Y'all changed my life. Followed by Uncle Ram. So ever since then, I've been getting a little bit of too much ass at times.
You know, as a man, there's a balance to it. Your purpose and pussy. And the heavier your purpose.
Even if you lose the relationship, you don't lose yourself. And that's the most important part.
Yo, we back at it. So, real quick, let me plug the joint. Don't let women's opinions control you. Miles, you got anything you wanna promote or anything like that? You know.
Yes, sir. We got the soap. We got the soap right here, man. Make sure you guys go get your soap, man. The soap is popping. You know, wash the bitch assness off of you. And
that's right.
Oh, Renee, real quick, just checking if your mailing info is the same. Just hit us in the chat real quick. Just let me know if your mailing info is the same. Cause you know I gotta take care of my moderators. You feel me?
There you go. Oh, real quick, what's up with the shea butter? Cause you know niggas got ashy elbows and kneecaps out here.
Facts. Well, that's what I wanted. The shea butter is on. The shea butter is on. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I could. Hold on. Let me see something.
She said yes, Miles. She said it's still the same.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me see. Can I share something with the thing? Can I share that?
Oh, bro, do your thing, fam. It's all good. Let's throw it in there.
Hey, can you see it? Okay,
no,
here we go.
Okay, go ahead. There
you can see it?
Yep.
Right.
Yo. Hey, look. That shit was kind of seductive, nigga.
You like that shit? Hey, go get your shea butter, man. Appreciate it. Go get your shea butter, man.
That shit. The visual with the music.
Yes, sir.
And all of that. Then she held the joint with them 2 feet. Yo. Yo, that shit was fire, yo.
2 fingers, yeah,
nigga, yes. Yo, man, stop playing with this man. Stop playing with this man. Let me throw the joint back up there. Hold on, real quick. What? Damn, I saw it earlier. Okay, there we go. Stop playing with this man. Go out there, get that shea butter.
Yes, sir.
And for some of y'all don't have a lady y'all can rub it on just yet, but practice rubbing it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go get you some.
Yes, sir.
Yo, okay.
And Yeah, I want to see that video. The video is also on the website with the shea butter. So if you want to see the video again, go check that out.
There you go. That was dope. That was dope. All right, hold on. Let me save a couple of these links so I can pop them up later. So what are we talking about today, gentlemen? Don't let women's opinions control you. Let me do some shout outs real quick, because y'all know I'm being consistent about this shit. But I just want to, show my appreciation for all y'all coming through and fucking with myself and Miles. Real quick, Wicked Scorpion was good, fam. Unique 79. Who else we got up in here? The incomparable Renee P. Duke Lux. Who else we got up in this piece? Joe Blast, Soulmonger, Danny P. June Sports, Frankie Shy. Gil Poems. Who else we got up in this motherfucker? If I forget somebody, don't get in your feelings, nigga. I'm scrolling really quick and shit. Adam A. James One. They'd be like, say my name, nigga. It's like Destiny's Child, nigga. Who else we got up in there? Blastomatic Diesel. Who else we got? All right, hey, guys. Don't let women's opinions control you guys. Okay, and I would also add this. Don't let anybody's opinion hold sway over you. Look, I got this quote. I came across this quote, and I want to throw this up there because I want people to understand. I want you men and women to understand. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own.
Wow. That's real shit right there. Mm-hmm.
And what I want guys to understand is this right here. You can't live your life based on other people's opinion of you and let that change what you do or how you feel about yourself, because then you're not living. A lot of you guys, this is why I have the thumbnail the way I have it. You have a chain around your brain. Okay, you are literally living a mental life of enslavement because you need to be validated based on how other people feel about you. Right. Miles, the other day, I want to say maybe it was Wednesday, but a guy, he literally wanted women to tell him he was handsome. Right? He was asking, how can I only deal with women that think I'm handsome? Right? So what that shows me is not only does he not love himself, but he has so low self-esteem and such a lack of confidence about himself that he needs other people's opinions based on how they think he looked to make him feel good about himself. And that's weak. I need guys to understand that if you need people to say things to you to make you feel confident or to make you feel good about yourself or to make you feel like you matter, nigga, you matter to you. Right. It doesn't matter what other people think. You should matter to you. And Miles, I said this, 10 women in a row can tell me I'm ugly. I think so highly of myself, I'm gonna be like, I know you lying. Ain't no way in hell. You just saying that because I said something you didn't like, right? Exactly. That's how and they could really mean it, but their opinion is so low compared to how highly I think of myself that no matter what they think about me, I could never allow their opinion to overtake my own. Right. So before we get into that, you got anything you want to add to this, Miles?
Yeah, man. So again, what Marcus Aurelius said is real, because I have to tell my guys that all the time, and it's even important how you phrase the shit, because a lot of people love to say fuck what other people think. I'm telling you, rephrase it as only what I think matters. You see what I'm saying? Not fuck what other people think, because when you say fuck what other people think, you still mentioning other people.
Facts.
You got to say only what I think matters. Only what I think matters. That is literally how you got to see it. And until you truly start to see it that way, you're always gonna have something in the back of your mind worrying about what other people think. And I swear, you know what's funny about it too is that you don't even realize how much you consider other people's opinions of yourself and what you do. You don't even realize it, like because you're always second guessing. You're always low key worried. You're always trying to I wonder if somebody gonna think I'm thirsty. I wonder if somebody gonna think I'm desperate. I wonder if somebody gonna think I'm handsome or cool, and it's like, again, only what you think matters. If you look at yourself in the mirror before you leave the crib and you like how you look, that's the only thing that matters. Because from that point on, you only want to talk to people who believe what you believe. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what it's all about. But, and another thing I'll say too is that there are a lot of things that kind of affect our psyche. Because, for example, the simple idea of, going to school and getting good grades, right? Initially, you're not even thinking about making yourself proud. Initially, you're just, well, I'll tell you my experience then, because I don't want to even put that on everybody, right? But initially, when I was always a good student, right? But not because I was smart, but because I worked my ass off, because I didn't want my mom to beat my ass. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't even about like learning and knowledge and all of that shit. It was just like, I just don't want to get a beating when I get home for bringing home an F or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, psychologically, just for like certain things in life from a very early age, we fall into the frame of mind that, well, I'm not doing anything to enrich myself. I'm just doing it so I don't make other people angry at me. You see what I'm saying? And psychologically, it sets a precedent where you're not doing anything for your own enrichment and enhancement. You're really doing it because you're worried about the judgment of others, and it seems almost like it seems like it's the right thing to do, right? Because it's like, who doesn't want to make their mother proud? You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
so there's a part of you where it's like, well, why wouldn't I want to make my parents proud of me? Why wouldn't I want my teacher to feel good about giving me an A in the class? And again, there's nothing really wrong with that. But at the same time, we have to understand the psychological effect that it has when it comes to people pleasing and trying to get validation from others. You see what I'm saying? Because when they literally throw your little ass in school and they say, be good, get good grades. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's you just there as a little kid and you're like, okay, well, why should I be good? Why should I get good grades? I don't even know. All I know is if I don't, somebody gonna be angry at me.
See, Miles, that's some real shit. I remember when I was a little lad, right? Knee high to a grasshopper, right? I think I brought home a progress report, and I think it had like a D on it or something.
Yeah.
And my mama said, "You're much smarter than this. I'm so disappointed in you."
Mm.
Right? And that shit hit me. Like, I disappointed my mom, right? But to your point, no one is taught not to disappoint yourself. Okay, you're always taught to live in a shadow of someone else's perception or someone else's opinion of you. But even with the good grades, not enough parents are teaching their kids why it's important for you. Okay, my opinion of how I feel about it is secondary to your own, right?
Fact.
And I think if more parents actually taught their kids that the reason why I need you to conduct yourself in this way, the reason why I need you to go out there in the world and have some motherfucking respect for who you are in your name, it's for you.
Right.
Right? Because once I raise you and you go out there in the world, it's on you now, right? You got to carry this, right?
Yeah.
So I think even when it comes to this, guys got to understand that all the decisions and choices you make in your life is for you. It's not for the benefit of other people to be proud of you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now they can be proud of you, but you shouldn't live your life trying to make people proud. Make yourself proud. Make your decisions for you. And the byproduct of that is the people that actually give a fuck about you, they're going to feel what you're doing. What's up, Jay Roman? You got here a little late. What's going on with your fam?
What up? What up? Everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can only comment on what I heard so far, and you was talking about family, and I'm that type of dad that's like, yo, go make me proud. But at the same time, I tell my son to repeat his name, his full name, a couple of times. Like, repeat your name. And he says his name. Now repeat your name. He says his name. And I say, okay, now that first name, that represents you.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you do at school is going to rest on you. It's telling people who you are. you know, is telling people how to treat you by the way you act. Like your first name totally represents you. Now your last name ties it to me. So, you know, not only are you representing you, but you're representing me. And I think that for me, it's all a tool to help raise your kid to have a balance in his mind, to understand that he too is an individual.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always tell him, hey, represent you. Did you represent yourself correctly? Because that's the first thing. I said, sometimes you introduce yourself, you don't even say your last name.
Right,
You just say
right.
your name.
Say your name.
What you're really representing is you. You know, we're tied together, so it's always going to reflect on me. And I don't mind having that extra thought in his head when he do something like, oh man, I don't want to reflect on my family like this. But at the same time, I hope his thought too is my first name is going to reflect on me too. So, you know, as far as that, you know, just what I heard, you know, that's how I kind of operate with my kiddo there, to make sure that individuality is there. And I think that the balance is off, right? And so when you have balance off, you don't have both things going into your children's ears, where my mom, right? My mom, yeah, I want to make her proud. But at the same time, my dad wasn't looking at my mom like, I want to make you proud. My dad was his own individual. So there was a balance I seen there when he was like, hey, man, just go to school and do your best. Like, you know, oh, make me proud, son. I don't want to, you know, hey, go do what you got to do for you to get out of there. And I think that when you take that balance away, that's when you have more people concerned about, oh, I want to make only my mom proud, or only want to make somebody proud, because that individual that's being taught to say, hey, think about yourself too, is not there. So,
right.
Well, I think there's also a handicap to that, right? Where your mentality is more dominated by making someone else proud, because now you live for their validation. You live for them to pat you on the back. Okay, this is why, for instance, if you play sports and your parents don't show up to the games, now you feel like, why am I even out here now? My parents aren't even there to root me on, right? Because are you really doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for the admiration and the validation of others? So I do think that balance needs to be there, right? Real quick, guys, the calling line, we good with the calling line right now?
Yeah, the phone lines is open, man. Y'all call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392.
Also, guys, if you have a question, put a Q in the chat followed by your question. We do have a couple of questions. We're going to get to them, guys. We need to hit this clip. Now, when some of you guys first see the clip, you're not going to understand the correlation, but you know, I'm going to provide my commentary to it to kind of break down how I see it, because sometimes we might see shit differently. But what are we talking about today, ladies and gents? Don't let women's opinions control you. And what that essentially means is this. When you step out in the world and you're meeting these women, stop being concerned with how they view you or what they think about you. Because, guys, we hear it all the time when these guys call into these live shows. Well, you can't always say that to women, because some women might not like if you say that. Not all women are the same. Some of them might, have an issue with the way that you put things, right? And what that says is you're more concerned about what that woman thinks about you versus you making sure you get what you want out of the interaction. It's almost like you're putting your opinion of yourself and what you desire on the back burner in favor of the woman looking at you favorably, so you can ultimately get that thing that you want. But at what cost? At what cost? At what point are you going to stop sacrificing what it is you really want in lieu of someone looking at you in a way that you think is positive? At what point are you going to put yourself first? So even when we talk about putting yourself first, put yourself first in your own mind. Okay, not just with your actions and how you deal with people, but in your own mind. Like, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to let people know exactly what it is. I'm going to present myself in the most authentic, assertive, decisive, transparent fashion. And I'm going to get what I want from this situation. If the other person got a problem with it, that's their problem, not mine.
Right.
Not mine. Because me, like, I'm on that Frank Sinatra shit. Okay, I did it my way. Right? I'm going to get shit doing it my way. And if I can't get it doing it my way, it ain't meant for me. But let's go ahead and jump to this motherfucker. Go ahead.
No, some of these comments, one of the comments, I don't see it anymore. I was trying to find it. Dude was like, yeah, I was so focused on the game. I never worried about my parents being there. Come on, man. Like, Yeah, come on. Be honest. Like, look, ever since I played the game, you want to see your relatives in the stands so you can play, so they can see you play well. I'm not saying it's the main focus, but it was nice to run for a touchdown and look up and you see, the folks that in the stands. If they weren't in the stands, it don't mean you didn't play. You still, because your name and your number was on your back, so you still played. But come on, man. Like,
oh no, don't get it twisted. I remember, God bless the dead. My mother came to one of my football games, and I heard her call my name, bro. It made my little heart flutter to see my mama in the stands, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, my mama, look at that, this Mama Randolph right there, right? Because that's the one and only time that she ever came. But I always cherish that one little glimpse at mama in the stands and shit. But to your point, Jay Roman, I didn't stress it. But it made me feel good to see my mama, in the motherfucking stands. I can't front, you know what I'm saying?
I tell you, the hardest I've seen some players, and I didn't coach for years. The hardest I've seen some players play is when their dad never really made the practice, but then he finally came. Oh my man, you couldn't keep that guy off the field, man. No, I'm good, coach. I'm good. Just trying, but like I said, man, it's to make sure your loved ones and people that you want to do them proud, but you want to do them proud for yourself though. Like, so I know the type of person I am. So any woman to be with me is going to be proud because man, I'm a hell of a guy. But at the same time, I'm like that for me. I have a certain amount of principles and standards and stuff for me that I do things because that's the way I want to do them to make myself proud. So I could be like, yeah, I did that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I did that shit.
So let's go ahead and jump to this video real quick. All right, hold on real quick.
A lot of men don't realize, and women will vouch for me, we don't actually say what we mean. We say what we feel. Mic drop.
That's a very difficult thing for a lot of guys to comprehend because we hear what you say and then we think that's what you mean. Because men speak and think in terms of logic. And if you say something, we assume that's probably what you mean. But what you're saying is that often you might say something that you feel which isn't actually what you mean.
Yes.
So some of you might see that and be like, how does it correlate to the topic? Okay, allow me to bring you into the mind of Zag real quick. So a lot of times when guys call up and they say, man, she gave me her number.
Right.
I set up the date. She said yes. Why didn't she show up? Right? What did I do wrong? Can I still make the situation work? And Miles, you said something that is so profound. You said, women don't lie. They don't tell the truth. They just say how they feel in the moment.
Right. And
what a lot of guys got to understand, this is why you can't really focus too much on what women are saying. Because a lot of times women say what they feel in the moment.
Yep.
But how they feel in the moment is not what they really think. Right? This is another thing. When guys say, man, she told me I was handsome. How come she don't want to fuck me? See, you're paying too much attention to what she said. In the moment, she looked at you and she felt this is a handsome guy. But her thought was, I don't want to fuck him though. Right? But she's not going to tell you what she was really thinking, but she might tell you what she was feeling. Right? Which is why you can't put too much stock in what women say. Even online, when women say, oh, I want a man that's 6 foot plus, and I want a man that makes 6 figures, and I want a man that's going to pay all the bills. In the moment that they're being asked these questions, that's what they feel. But in reality, what they think is, if I meet a man who I'm really feeling, I'm sexually attracted to, I have a great deal of respect for, I don't care if he's 6 foot tall. I don't care if he makes 6 figures. I don't care if I got to pay some of the bills or not, because I want that man, right? And a lot of guys got to understand that a woman's feelings in the moment and what they really think are not always in alignment. So when you hear guys say, man, I really don't understand women. Okay, and the reason why you're beating yourself over the head to try and understand women is because you allow what they say and what they feel to guide you and to hold sway over how you think and feel about yourself. Y'all got it, man.
Can we play? I want to play the audio again, please.
A lot of men don't realize, and women will vouch for me, we don't actually say what we mean. We say what we feel. Mic drop.
That's a very difficult thing for a lot of guys to comprehend, because we hear what you say and then we think that's what you mean. Because men speak and think in terms of logic. And if you say something, we assume that's probably what you mean. But what you're saying is that often you might say something that you feel which isn't actually what you mean.
Yes.
Exactly. Yo, which is why. See, this is another one of those examples where when I say bitches know they ain't shit. You understand? Again, it's not to say that women are not valuable, right? But it's listen to what she just said. She literally just said that anything a woman is saying, you don't really have to take it seriously. That's what she just said.
Facts.
Isn't that basically a derivative of bitches know they ain't shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Like, I swear to God, like, when people hear me say those words, bitches know they ain't shit. Oh, this nigga Miles, he's such a misogynist. But look at what that woman just said. And then she was like, mic drop. Fuck out of here. She literally just said, don't take anything a woman says seriously. And what she really means is the nature of a woman is to seek leadership. The nature of a woman is to seek compatible leadership. But a lot of these guys, it's hard for them to be a leader when they worried about what the bitch want. You understand? Hey, what do you want for dinner? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? No, bruh. You decide. You decide, and I will follow you. As long as I like you, as long as I'm attracted to you, I will follow you. And women will follow a nigga blindly.
Over the edge, over the ledge. Yes, they will.
How do you explain Bonnie and Clyde and all that type of shit? This bitch knew he was a bank robber and shit. She knew that they was probably going to get killed at some point, but she loved that nigga. You see what I'm saying? And followed him over the edge, fighting the law, having shootouts with cops and shit. You see what I'm saying? And y'all niggas want to worry about, oh, well, I hope she likes me. Nigga, if you have any trepidation or unsure, if you're unsure if a bitch like you, you should stop talking to her right now.
Yep.
If you don't have a certain level of confidence where it's like, I know this chick, all I got to do is say jump and she gonna ask me how high. If you don't have that type of confidence when dealing with a woman, just tell her goodbye from that point on. Because here's the thing. A woman might not respond that way to you, but there's a guy out there that she will.
These are facts.
And guess what? Instead of wasting your time with this chick who will not respond that way to you, the trick is to find the woman that will. And you have to have the faith. You have to have the faith that she's out there. But go ahead, Kay.
No, let me say this real quick, Jay, and I'll pass it to you. So the guy says something that I disagree with. He said when men hear women say what they feel, they think in terms of logic. Okay, men do. Males don't. When males hear women say what they feel, they take it to heart, right? So this is what guys got to understand. Okay, women, because she also said with what she said, she basically said women are governed by their emotions, right? And this is why they say what they feel and not what they think. Because when you talk about thinking, there's logic to actually thinking, there's logic to actually reasoning, right? But a lot of times when people say shit, there is no reason. There is no reasoning. There is no logic. They just say what they feel. And the problem with a lot of males today, a lot of you modern males out here, is because you operate within your emotions and your feelings as well. When women say what they feel, you run with it.
Right.
Like especially if she says something that you desperately need or want her to say to validate how you feel in a moment. Right. Which is why guys want to hear women tell them they're handsome. Which is why guys are looking for choosing signals, because you feel a certain way about getting rejected. So a woman giving you choosing signals makes you feel better and more confident that shit can happen favorably. Also, for you guys out here, when you out on a date and you ask a woman if she's having a good time, You desperately need her to say yes, so you feel good about the good job you've done with your date selection, right? You guys that need to hear women tell you, Miles, about a week or so ago, and I don't recall whose live stream it was, but there was actually a guy asking a woman, you know, did you enjoy having sex? Was it good for you? Right? Because you desperately need to hear a woman tell you it was good or that she came to make you feel good about what you did, because her opinion about what you did in the bedroom is more important than your opinion of yourself. You desperately need her to tell you how she feels. But
Right.
I was thinking about what you were saying on that one, but I'll go to a different point that Miles was saying that I totally agree with. If I believe a lot of this, how you feel came. I remember reading in school about this book or this therapist and something, and they were saying that when you talk or have a discussion, you say how you feel because nobody can argue how you feel.
Facts.
Right. And so I think a lot of ladies use that as a point when they're having these discussions because they know it's undisputed, because now I can just say how I feel and it can't be argued. I feel like you do this, and how come you always do that? That's just my feeling. And the thing is that once you recognize that, you understand, and I've been saying this for a long time. Me in 1950 had a podcast show called Raw and Uncut. It was on Spotify and everything. And on that show, we asked a lot of ladies, do they test their men out? And all of them said yes. There is some form of test that they do to gain ground in the relationship. It can subconsciously, it could just, it's so naturally that it happens. They'll say something or do something that they think you're going to say no. They think you're going to check them, and they'll argue for it. But if you don't check them, then they know who you are, what type of person you are. Can I run over them? Can I cry and get my way? Can I, be mad, and can I put them on timeout and get my way? Like, all these little things are tests, because if the first time they do it, you check it and deny it, they can't do it again because they know who you are.
That's them biting the gold. They biting the gold.
Exactly. So if you know this is the matter and how they operate, why would you fall into it and now have a feelings contest? And you'll hear a guy say, I feel this way because I know you can't argue how I feel. I don't care about that feeling. Logically, this is what we should do. Logically, this is how we're going to act. Logically, this is how we're going to move. And that's the bait that you guys got to understand, that there's a lot of guys out there that really want to be really good dudes. Really good dudes, right? You're in these relationships because a lot of you guys are lying to yourself and don't want to be in relationships, because all the time we hear about y'all crying about these relationships. So a lot of the times you guys really want to be in these relationships and really want to be really good dudes. Well, a good dude will take his responsibility and roles and be a man in it and not following. Following is not a good dude. You're not being a good dude to her. So you got to understand that just because you listen and, I validate your feelings, however, you're not really being that guy, because she wants the guy that's actually going to stand up and pass that test so she can follow the leader and be comfortable in their relationship. So,
no, most guys are malleable. Right? And if y'all guys don't know what malleable means, it basically means essentially that you're flexible, right? You're easily swayed in one direction or another to be more pleasing to people, right? And a lot of guys are people pleasers, right? And I also want to say this real quick. Right? This is what a lot of guys got to understand. We'll take it back to the video when she was talking about women say what they feel, not what they think. A lot of guys got to understand that the very thing that women need in men, they themselves don't possess. Okay, and what I mean by that is this: decisiveness. Okay, a woman that says what she feels and not what she thinks is indecisive, right? I need guys to understand that. Also, that amounts to passive or passive-aggressive behavior, right? This is why, and again, I subscribe to the yin and yang theory, where women represent the dark and chaos, men represent light and order. Right?
Yes.
This is why at the most biological level, right, women crave, whether they know it or not, they crave masculine leadership. They crave it, right? They need you to be the voice of reason, right? They need you to be the pragmatic one. This is why when guys talk about falling in love, I be like, bro, you already fucking up with that type of language, right? When guys talk about, I've seen Facebook post after Facebook post where guys talking about, man, ain't nobody looking for love anymore, right? And bro, and that's why you have trouble in relationships with women. Why are you looking for love? You are literally looking to lead with your feelings. You are literally looking to have someone validate how you feel, right? And here's the thing, I expect women to say that. I expect women to say, I'm looking to fall in love. I'm looking to have a man love me. I'm looking for women to say that because women, they need to feel like they're cared about. As a man, the only thing you need to be falling in love with is respect. Okay, that's the only thing, because when you talk about respect, everything falls under the umbrella of respect. Respect does not fall under the umbrella of love. Okay, I don't understand why, because you can love somebody but not respect them, right? Now, being by that, you can have a family member that you love dearly, but because of how they operate in their lives, because of the choices that they make, you don't respect them. Just like you can respect somebody but not love them. They're not mutually inclusive, right? You can have one without the other, but respect is the thing first and foremost you need to have for you to be able to have influence when it comes to dealing with women. This is why my favorite word is deference, humble submission, and respect. It don't say nothing about love, right? I don't need a woman's love. Right? I don't require a woman's love, right? If a woman loves me, it's but a bonus, okay? It's just a bonus. It's like, all right, she loves me, but I'll take the respect and the submission first, right? If she want to throw a little extra sprinkle on top of that cake, right? Cool, right? Because I understand that when a woman truly loves a man, there's a certain way that she conducts herself. But that respect, that respect will keep her from doing disrespectful shit. Love will not keep women from doing disrespectful shit. Y'all got it, man.
Exactly. Guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. The calls are free, guys, so make sure y'all call in.
All right, so let's get to some of these questions real quick. Let me grab up Unique's question. So he says, Miles, will there be problems shipping your soaps overseas during a Christmas period?
Will there be problems? I don't think so. I don't foresee any problems. I mean, it might be delayed because of the because of the holiday season, possibly, but I don't see any issues. I don't see any issues with that.
Hey, guys, look. The shea butter would be a great Christmas gift to yourself, right? Let me explain what I mean. Because for all you guys that like to buy women shit, tell women, hey, I got something for you to use with me. Right? Now, shea butter can be applied to various aspects of the anatomy. I'm just, let your mind, just let it race. Let's let it race, right? So let's go. Jay Roman is like, this nigga care. All right, so
Jay Roman didn't see the thing. Hold on, let's play it again. Cause Jay Roman,
go ahead, play it again.
Yeah, let's play it again. Yeah, play it again. Cause Jay Roman didn't. He ain't really. Can you see that, Jay Roman?
Okay, let me snatch it up. There you go.
Can you see that?
It ain't nothing started. He's about to play it, I think.
But I'm saying you can see the box though. You can see the box.
Yeah.
Pause. All right, let's go.
Stop playing with this.
Get the shade.
Let me warn you guys. I'm gonna put the warning on there with the shea butter. Okay, here's the warning, and this is straight from Zag. If you don't want to progress the relationship, then don't have a shea butter rubbing night.
Facts.
Because it's going to speak volume in her ears, and she's going to think relationship, because it's going to end up in a massage.
Yeah, that's
going to go from there. So I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah, that's boyfriend energy.
Get the shea butter, stack it up. See, I like to get stuff and have it sitting, you know, in my crib. I had stuff sitting, so when ladies came by, they know like what you be doing, but I ain't doing it for you. You ain't got there yet. So put the shea butter out. You know, put it right there and be like, oh, that smells good. No, that's mine. You ain't got to that level yet. You ain't got to that level yet.
We ain't there yet.
We ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? So just understand, like, hey, that's my warning.
Hey, and once you do get there, you have the bottle of champagne, the champagne flutes, and the shea butter right there in the center.
Right there. Yes, sir.
And the shea butter right there. And you have 1950s candles right there burning right there at the same time. Right? Look, the fragrance in the air is going to be crazy.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Mr. 1950. Silverback seduction with the candles. All right.
There you go. There you go. Hey. And also you get that masculine identity soap because before she applies it to the area she can't readily see, she need to make sure it's clean.
Yes, sir.
You know, you never want to apply shea butter to dirty skin. So you just want to make sure it's clean. So, yeah.
I hope you youngsters know how to clean, man. You know, I hope you youngsters know how to clean. I hope you were taught the proper way to make sure you get all areas, because it ain't just a quick and clean. Like there's, you know, we got to do certain things too as men, just to be clean. You know.
Yes, sir.
So,
I hope so.
So real quick, y'all, the call-in line is open. 919-647-9392. 919-647-9392. Hey, call in. Don't wait forever. Also, if you have a question, put a Q in the chat followed by your question. So ET says, is that partly being arrogant or is it just confident within yourself? Okay, here's the thing with arrogance, right? I'm just me. Whatever a woman thinks I am, that's on her. If she thinks I'm being arrogant, that's on her. It has nothing to do with me, right? I am a supremely confident individual, right? So whatever someone perceives me to be, that's on them. I'm not trying to control the perception of me, right? All I'm going to do is present the most authentic version of myself, and it's going to be what it's going to be, right? So I don't concern myself with whether or not I look like a male chauvinist or whether or not I look arrogant. I'm not concerned with none of that shit.
Facts.
Y'all want to get to the question? Y'all cool on that?
Probably being arrogant is just, yeah. So I heard somebody say this the other day. And they were saying that if you're born into a rich family, what the child grows up with is not confidence, but arrogance. Because you take for granted that you can do and be anything because your family has the money to make it happen. But the ability to be and do anything doesn't come from the trust you have in yourself. See, that if you go look up the Latin root word for the word confidence, it has to do with trust. Confidence is about trusting that you can handle what comes your way. When somebody says they're confident, like, for example, you take somebody like Michael Jordan, the reason why he was so confident and dominant is because he practiced. You understand? It was his ability to beat on his craft that made him so confident. So the reason why he knew, see, when Michael Jordan looks at somebody and he says, I know I can beat you. He's not saying I know I can beat you because you're a garbage player. What he's saying is that I trust in myself to beat you because I practice so much more than you. Do you understand? So it's a trust that you have within. Arrogance is more of a belief where it's like, oh, well, or a thought like, well, yeah, I think I'm better than you just because. But confidence has to do with a level of trust, and the trust is built on the evidence of work. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between arrogance and confidence. So if you believe in yourself and you say, I'm that man, when you walk out the door and you go, cruise for chicks, holler at women or whatever you're going out to do, and you have the belief that you're that man, let that belief be in the fact that you truly love yourself, that you put in a certain amount of work. You know that you could change a bitch's life. You know that if you ain't got the money, you got the network to get it. You understand? You got the business acumen and know-how to hustle to make it happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's confidence. But when you just say, oh, well, I'm the nigga just because, then that's probably arrogance. And the thing with arrogance is that arrogance can be proven wrong. Arrogance can be proven wrong. You have a harder time proving confidence wrong. 857, you're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K Zag, also Jay Roman and Miles. Name, age, city. What's up?
Let me say this about arrogance real quick.
Okay, hold on, 857. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Jay.
I think that for me, even if you're not the man, but you step out and say, I am the man, that means you're kind of stepping toward and working on your confidence. For me, arrogance is treating people cruel intentionally. So if Michael Jordan saying I'm gonna beat you, to me, that's not arrogance. That's just saying, hey, that's how I might, like you said, Miles, my game is like that. Plus, when you're playing a sport, you ain't supposed to be nice to the other person. I'm trying to beat you mentally and physically. Right. But to me, when you have a cruel intent going out, like you say, I'm the man, you're getting at some girl and she denies you. Now you're arrogant, oh, well, fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, now you're being arrogant because your intent really was to be cruel to the person because it didn't go your way the way you wanted it to go. So
right. Exactly.
That's to me when it comes to arrogance.
All right. So 857, go ahead.
What's going on, y'all? Shaughnessy, 26 from Boston. How you doing?
What's going on, Shaughnessy?
What's going on? Just a quick question. So when I'm outside and I'm approaching, I notice that I limit myself to the females who look like females I've had in the past, as in like the same race and the same like body structure, and just females that I feel like that I've had in the past. Is that like kind of limited myself? Because I do see females that I haven't had.
So here's the thing. All of us have like our physical type, like the shit that really does it for us. Right now, when it comes to dating preferences, everybody's flexible. Meaning, if you prefer a woman with a fat ass or thick and curvy, right, you can deal with a woman who might not fit that precisely visually, but if she's a cool chick and she's still sexy to you, right, you might be able to be like, you know what, she ain't my physical type, but she's cute and she's sexy, I'll fuck with her. But my question to you is, are you avoiding those type of women because of something that happened in the past with previous women that look like that and they remind you of something negative? Because if that's the case, then they got real estate in your head.
Well, yeah, honestly, that piece of that is true, because I don't have like that much success with, like white women and shit. So I really low key stay away from white women. So it's like,
but are you attracted to them though? Are you attracted to them though?
Yeah, not as much as I'm attracted to black women, but yeah, I see some white women, I'd be like, yeah, they fire. That woman fire. She fire.
Bro, let me tell you something that was said to me. I was in my early 20s, and I was one of my partners went to this college, and I went to the college he was at for the weekend, and I was at a party, and it was a little country ass hick town and shit. And there was this white chick at the party, and I walked up to her and I was talking to her, and she told me, now she was very pleasant about it, but she said, I don't really date black guys. And my response to her was, that's a shame. You don't know what you're missing out on. Right? That's it. I didn't be like, oh shit, she don't like black people. Oh man, that's fucked up. No. And I just looked at her and I smiled, and I'd be like, when I got close to her, and I'd be like, that's a shame. You don't know what you're missing out on. But look, I'm gonna go ahead and move around. So if your curiosity gets strong enough, I'm gonna be over here. Right? And hey, because you got to understand is that some people, again, it goes back to the video. Women just say what they feel, not what they think. Okay, we at a party, it's in a hick town. She could be saying that because there's a bunch of shit kickers around and shit, right? And she don't want to be she don't want to be publicly ostracized for fucking with, a nigga. But privately, if I would have caught her somewhere and there was nobody around to witness that conversation, who's to say that something wouldn't have happened? But y'all got it.
Yes, facts.
I mean, it just sounds like to me like you got a type, bro. That's all it sounds like to me.
No, it's real shit. No, I appreciate y'all. Real talk.
Yeah, I agree with Zach, man. My first thought was, are you avoiding it because you don't think you can get it? So, sometimes you limit yourself because, like you said, you didn't really think, they'd be interested in you. So you just cut it off for real. So, but we all have our preferences. We all have our types. I like tall women. So the first time when I go somewhere, if she's standing 6 feet and almost above, that's my first attention. How you doing? So, but, but hey, it is what it is, man.
But it goes, you know what? It amazes me how if we always get a call where it goes to the title. Don't let women's opinions control you. So what probably happened is the first few times, a couple of times you got rejected by a white girl, you probably automatically said to yourself, it's because I'm black. So now when you see white girls, you automatically have that mental block, like she's probably not going to like me because I'm black. And unbeknownst to you, she loves black men. She just don't like you.
No, that's facts. I don't never think it's because I'm black. I just think it's she don't like me. She don't like me type shit.
Okay. All right.
So that's real.
All right. That's what's up. Okay.
All right, Sean C. Appreciate the call, bro.
Appreciate you guys. All
right. Peace. Guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Make sure y'all call in.
All right. So he says, hey, Miles, will the shea butter also be going on sale, or is it only the soap?
Nope. The shea butter will not be going on no Black Friday sale. Mostly the soaps will. And yeah, that's about it. Pretty much the soaps. Nothing, because see, the thing is, everything else is super limited. So and the shea butter seasonal. So I ain't putting that on. That's not going on sale. Only the soaps will go on sale. That's it. So all y'all waiting on the sale for the shea butter is not going on sale. So if you want the shea butter, just buy that shit now.
Pay full price, guys. So here we go. So he says, out of curiosity, based on your personal experiences, K-Zag and Miles, how would both of you set healthy boundaries when it comes to dealing with women, either short-term or long-term? First of all, and shout out to Miles for the masculine identity, because before you can even set boundaries, you have to know who you are.
Facts.
You have to be at one and comfortable in your own skin when it comes to your own unique masculine identity. Right, guys, if you don't know who you are, there is no way you can set boundaries for a woman, let alone yourself, which is why guys are so flexible. Think about all you guys who are flexible when it comes to women, right? You kind of follow the lead of the woman, you acquiesce. And the reason why you do that is because you don't have boundaries for yourself. So how are you going to have boundaries for the woman? Go ahead, Miles, you got it.
Says business person, how would you set healthy boundaries when it comes to dealing with women, either short term or long term? Yeah. It's really all about knowing who you are, because the boundaries that you set are a direct reflection of your masculine identity. So if you, the bottom line is knowing what you want, man. That's the bottom line. Like just like how when you go into the, Lucario always uses like going to the store and ordering food. It's like you know exactly how you want your food. You know if you order a salad, you tell them to put you always tell them to put the dressing on the side. Or if you order a steak, you always order it medium. The only way you know how to set boundaries is by knowing who you are, and that's really it. Because I can't, and if I'm dealing with a woman where I'm setting boundaries and she don't want to follow, or she keeps fucking up, then she gonna get fired, and that's pretty much it. We got 347. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K-Zag, and we also got J. Roman and Miles. Name, age, city. What's up?
Yeah, hi, this is Doug, 31 New York City.
All right, Doug, what's going on with you, bro?
Yes, I like this trio right here because, like, the energy, it says that, like, you guys really want to help, and it's a lot different from the energy like on Sundays. It's like you guys coming from like the heart, and you are really compassionate, and I actually appreciate it, because like some of the things, like I usually get annoyed when K-Zach talks, but when he spoke today, like it was very intriguing and very like formal what he was saying, and the stuff that K-Zach just said, like in terms of like I rather get her respect and her love, like that was really enlightening for me, because I'm always trying to get a girl's love versus her respect. But I know that if I get her love, then I'm probably a little bit more capable of getting her. If I get her respect first, like she'll probably give me her love, because when he said that, I just remember that it's hard for a girl to fall in love with a guy that she doesn't respect. So I just want to say that I appreciate you guys. I know I get on you guys. I bust you guys' balls before, but I want to like give you a cigar when you're doing something good as well.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Doug. I think Doug might be misunderstood sometimes. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Doug.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. It's just that like right now you guys aren't roasting about, you're not hating, like you guys coming from the heart, and I really appreciate that. Like I'm listening right now, and I'm like taking down like mental notes, man, for real.
Yes, sir.
All right, see, there we go.
Appreciate you.
that.
All right. All right. Talk to you later, bro. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, that was some real shit. But I want guys to understand something, that all of these shows that we do, whether we do the Sunday joint, the Saturday joint, Miles and L do the Friday joint, the shows that Steve and I do, and with Fifth and all of that, we're always dropping gems, but people have to understand the context and the damn, I can't think of what I want to say. But they just got to understand the concept of these different things that we do, right? But also, when you have, the personality that you have, there's a certain type of energy that comes out and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all, to me, it's all good. Anything my boys do, Fib, Jay, Miles, Lucario, Steve, everybody, okay, I fucks with it all. So, but I understand that people have their favorite duos, their favorite trios, their favorite shows, and that's all well and good. But to me, there's always gems being dropped.
Facts. There you go.
All right. So, okay, real quick, let's go to this question right here. He says, if I have to question myself about a bitch, does that mean she don't like me?
Pretty much. But what it first means is that you don't like yourself. That's what it really means.
Facts. Because my thing is, why are you concerned with whether or not a woman likes you or not? Like, I've never been concerned about whether or not a woman is gonna like me or not. Right? I like myself enough for the both of us. Right? So I don't concern myself with whether or not a woman gonna like me, because here's the thing, and this is what guys got to remember. Just like not every woman is going to be your cup of tea, you're not going to be the cup of tea for every woman, right? Compatibility is a real thing, right? Some people, you just don't click. But the problem with a lot of guys is y'all are so enamored with the beauty of the woman, right? You're too captivated with how she looks that you're really trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So you're trying to force fit something that's not meant to fit, right? And you're trying to convince the woman to like you. Okay, all that means is you're already incompatible and you're trying to make shit fit, right? And that interaction is already doomed to fail, because compatibility happens right away. It's not something that happens over time. You're compatible. Either you're not or you are. Right? But y'all want to...
For me, that's more on your leadership. The first thing that, if I'm really speaking with somebody, is they're going to learn my style of communication. And if they don't follow that style, then we can't be. So I don't have a lot of questions on if you like me or not. Because you know how I like to express and how I want you to express things to me. So, there's no questions. It's just either we continuing or we're not. So that's it.
So let me just say this, because he's talking about when Doug called. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm so supremely confident in myself. Anytime someone says something favorable or give me a compliment, it's just confirmation of what I already knew to be true. I appreciate the compliments. I appreciate the attaboys and all of that. But I don't need that shit because I already know I be dropping gems and nuggets and all that. I already know I do, right? It's just what happens is it takes other people a little while to see what it is, right?
No.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I just want to. I want in your defense. I just want to clear it up. Zag is not feeling validated after that.
No,
Zag,
not at all.
If anything, Zag is celebrating Doug's fucking evolution.
He had a breakthrough.
Right, his ability to recognize game and not be a bitch ass nigga like how he sounds when he be calling up on Sunday.
Yeah,
I think
y'all see that? Evolve. Y'all see that right there? Evolve. Like,
that wasn't
evolve your mindset.
For us. That wasn't validation for us. That was validation for Doug and himself. That was self-validation or self-actualization for Doug, and we were just happy for him.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it showed more about Doug's personality and a little something different, right? Because sometimes people, you see them kind of one way, and then they say something, you're like, you know what? So you do have a understanding and really processing things being said. And so, hey, but to me, I think people should have that type of personality where somebody call you a name and you could break that whole thing down and be like, yeah, I'll take that as a positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're always coming in cursing. Somebody's loud to say their own opinion. Yeah, I'll take it. Like nothing ever said is going to hit me in that negative way, unless it's something I feel like I need to work on.
Yeah. People's opinion of me, negative or positive, have no impact on my mood.
Facts.
Nigga, you can tell me I ain't shit. I'm like, all right. You can tell me, Carrie, you the shit. I'm like, all right. Hey, baby, it's whatever you think. If you like it, I love it. Oh, behind the scenes. Oh, trust me, that's being worked out as we speak, brother. It's coming.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell y'all this. We was down in Florida, and you talk about 4 cats with their own mind hanging out. There is nothing that couldn't be said talking about somebody else that made anybody have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good, bad, walking this way, walking that way. Just the individuality of everybody just being themselves. It ain't that type of thing where it's one thing said is making or breaking anybody's day. Like, hey man, why you doing that? Because I want to do it. And then that was it. Like, okay, well, I guess he gonna do that then. We
was in a car going back and forth about directions and where to go. Like nobody's opinion was being taken more serious than their own. Like, nigga, I don't care what about your opinion of it. This is my opinion of it, right? That's some real shit. Yeah, when you got 4, and I really don't like referring to myself as an alpha male because I'm just a man. Like, even the music, Steve, even the music. But when you got 4 solid, thorough individuals around each other, yo, man, yeah, your opinion is just yours. It ain't mine, brother. You know what I'm saying? But all the respect and love to you, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and Steve talking the way he's talking, man, shut the fuck up. Like, ain't nobody was like, oh my God, why are you saying that to me?
And we was making fun of Steve's driving. He was like, hey, bitch, I'm driving. You can walk. You know what I'm saying? So,
why would you say that to me?
Yo, man, that's some real shit. But let's get to. Hey, guys, don't forget the call in line is open. Call in.
If anybody roll with Steve, I'm telling you, when you strap your seatbelt, you do that extra pull, just to make sure that it's going to stop on the first nudge.
And you put your hand on that little hand thing right there.
Yeah. Mandatory position.
So he says, is it possible for a man to get a career woman, or she already submitted to the career? Yo, y'all need to stop listening to this red pill shit. This is where guys, and this is where the opinions of others control you, right? Because y'all allow some of the commentary y'all hear from some of these YouTubers, you allow that to impact your own thoughts and feelings about shit, right? Because, guys, I need guys to understand something. The reason there's a deeper psychology behind the reason why guys talk about some of the things that they talk about. So, palm trees, I need you to understand this. Guys who make it a big deal to concern themselves with whether or not they're dealing with a woman who's a career woman or an entrepreneur, the reason why they're making a big deal out of it it's because they know that their money won't influence that woman.
Mm-hmm.
I need guys to understand something. When you're the type of guy where you think your money carries cachet with women, and you try and use your money to influence the behaviors and thoughts of women, you feel like only a chick who ain't got nothing will listen to me. Only a chick who needs some help is the type of woman I can influence. This is one of the big reasons why the passport bros go overseas, right? So let me show you something, okay? If you don't believe me, okay, look, because people gonna think I'm talking shit. No. I'm gonna show you that I'm telling you the truth. Hold on, let me find it.
A Corey Holcomb clip?
No, it's not a clip. It's just a Facebook post. Is it right here?
Oh, because Corey Holcomb,
right there.
He'd be like, "Yo, I fucks with bitches in poverty because they the only ones who listen."
Yeah, see right here. No, I'm gonna show you, but go ahead. But yeah, you're right. Hold on, it's here. It's here. I keep it right there. Why should a 20-year-old spend his 20s eating shit and getting bottom of the barrel women in the U.S. when that 30, 50K is gold in a second world, third world country? Your boy said it. He said it.
All right, we could go to 361. 361. You're on live on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K-Zag, J. Roman, and Miles. Name, age, city. What's up?
My name is Christian. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm 20. What's up, guys? It's
What's
always
going
a pleasure.
on? What's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling. What's up?
My question is, what opportunities does having strong charisma create?
What?
Oh man, that's so you asked, his question was, what opportunities does having strong charisma create? And so basically your personality can do a lot for you everywhere. Everywhere. So and we're not going to just, it can do a lot at the job. It can do a lot socially, not just with ladies, because I know the whole world only thing with ladies, but when you have a certain type of personality, there's a lot of things that can be done. For me personally, I'm just taking it to me personally. There's nowhere I ever went that I'd never had fun. Nowhere I've ever went, I never had fun, because I always tend to gravitate, and people gravitate to me that are cool people because of my personality, and I always have a great time wherever I go. And that just has something to do with my personality and my charisma, with things where, I can go to a new city and I know I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna meet cool people. I'm gonna do cool things. And I believe in that wholeheartedly because of my personality and who I am. When I'm at work, it affects my job, how people rock with me, from supervisors and owners all the way down to whatever, that people just rock with me because of that. And that's going to tend to open up more opportunities and doors for you, but
let me say this real quick, because charisma is just your ability to be charming, right? So to J. Roman's point, it's not just about women, and it's not even really about sex. I mean, can that play into it? Yes. But even your ability to be charming, right? All it means is your ability to influence people with your personality.
Right.
That's all it really means, is the ability to influence people, right? Whether it's on a job interview, whether or not you're pitching a business idea to somebody, okay, whatever it is, okay, all this it's basically your ability to influence people with your charming way of speaking, your charming way of conducting yourself. But I'm more curious about, why were you mainly motivated to ask that question? Because I hope it didn't have nothing to do with no pussy.
Be my next thing. Yeah. Go ahead, caller.
Well, it had to do with basically everything, not just women, but I've just noticed that, the more charismatic and social skills and, verbal skills that, like just like y'all said, like you have a lot of influence in the work environment, or you just connect with people. And I feel like it just gives you like an advantage.
But caller, here's the problem. Here's the problem. In order for you to actually have that type of personality, you have to actually know who you are. You have to have an identity where you don't care what other people think about you. Okay, I promise you this. Show me the most charismatic people, the most charming people. I'm going to show you a person that's always themselves, and they don't care what other people think. See, what a lot of guys want to do, they want to skip steps, right? They have a certain mentality, a people-pleasing, mentality, a very indirect, passive mentality, and they automatically want to skip everything and automatically become charming. But you have to understand that everything that you are and everything that you do starts with how you think and how you view yourself. So in order to get to the point where you can be a quote unquote charismatic or charming person, you first must free yourself from that mental bondage that got you worried about what other people think. Yeah, I got it.
Real quick, shout out to all the cats that's ordering the shea butter. I see the notifications coming through. I will be sending out, if you order it now, I'll be sending it out on Monday. So make sure you order your shea butter, guys. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
No, I'm just adding to Zach's point that it's, most people, the trick about having that charisma is having unapologetic personality. Where you're going to be you. And that's the thing that most people are drawn to. There's a lot of people that say stuff funny and a lot of people that are cool. But if you are just you, one of the biggest compliments I ever get was people be like, oh man, that's just him. And I like hearing that. Like, hey, yo, yeah, that's me. Like, I don't try to conform to anybody just because it's cool. Just because if I feel a certain way, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna make that statement and I'm gonna laugh, and people are gonna laugh at me, or they might say, oh man, you crazy or whatever. But at the end of the day, they realize like he's always going to be him. And that's the part that people are drawn to, is the fact that you're unapologetically you, and everybody loves somebody that's genuine. Half these conversations when we talk about women is because you feel like they're not genuine and saying what they really are or what they really, what they really mean. So people are drawn to genuine people no matter who they are. And that's just how it goes.
Yo, real quick, I did, and shout out to Vaughn. He said he ordered 2 of them things. Yo, when y'all get the shea butter and we do these live streams, come to the live streams and give a testimonial. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I thought you were gonna say something different. Okay,
no. But let me also say this. No. Let me say this real quick. Okay, well, guys have to understand. When it comes to people appreciating authenticity and people being genuine, I did a video where I talked about how some women won't even like you, but they're still drawn to you sexually. They won't even like you. There'll be shit that you're saying that they don't like, but they can't help themselves to be drawn to you sexually. And part of that is you're so genuine and you're so real, and you're not, because this is what a lot of guys do. When they have an opinion or a philosophy or an ideology about something, and it goes against the norm, in other words, it's not a popular opinion, and you don't mind speaking it in a room full of women, knowing that those women are going to react like a pack of hyenas, and you still stand on your shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Y'all can think. Women can say what they want, but there's something very attractive about a man that will stand on his shit 10 toes down in the face of criticism, ostracization, and ridicule. So a lot of times because women, for the most part, they've been conditioned to believe that men should conduct themselves in a certain way when it comes to putting women first and bending the knee. But when a woman says, no, I don't want to do so, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. This is how I feel. Deal with it. Right? What she's conditioned to believe goes against what she's hearing, but her vagina is still tingling because she likes it. Right? So I'm just saying.
Right. And here's the caller. Are you caller still there?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to y'all.
Yeah, you see, and there's a basic reason why understanding and knowing who you are and being consistent in your character is attractive to females in general, right? And now I'm not saying that just because you're being you, every woman you meet is going to be attracted to you. I'm not saying that. Please don't mistake what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that the reason why being who you are, being so authentic, because authenticity over time equals to consistency. You understand? Authenticity over time equals consistency. Women need consistency because women need something. In order for a woman to be confident and to be in her feminine, she needs to be able to rely on something. Do you understand? And because you show yourself to have consistent character, that's what makes you reliable. You understand? So that's a big part of the attraction. because women are like children, right? Where if like if you promise a child, hey, we're gonna go to the park and get some ice cream, but you never take them to the park, that child is always going to feel disappointed. Why? Because you're inconsistent between what you promise and what you deliver. But when you know how to promise, to maintain a certain level of consistency and congruency between what you promise and what you deliver, that's a big part of what makes you attractive to a female. Do you understand that?
Yeah, so through her emotional perfect pitch, she can sense authenticity, and you're basically being congruent. So what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. It's a lot of great information and game. And I really appreciate it, guys.
Right. And again, remember, the trick is to find the women that are compatible with you, not the other way around. Because if you're trying to be compatible with a bunch of women, you're going to end up changing your character. So the bottom line is to be who you are and then find the women who are congruent to you.
Not changing to make people like you.
Exactly. Don't change to make people like you. Just find the people that like the type of person that you are, so you don't have to change.
Well, I would even add this real quick, caller, real quick. You shouldn't really be changing. Hold on, listen, caller. You shouldn't be changing. You should be evolving. You just evolve. Shameless plug. Hey, you just evolve your way of thinking, and when you evolve your way of thinking, how you act changes naturally. But
exactly. Caller, did you say something just now? What did you say?
I think I had said that whenever you have a strong presence and a certain authenticity, it's people feel like they either hate you or they love you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because hate's a form of care too. So it's a lot of substance in play, right?
Well, you got to remember this: hate and love are two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like that question.
And hate and love are evoked by your influence on someone else's mindset. Okay, that's all that really is, right? You've influenced them to feel a certain way, or you evoke that emotion, because hate is an emotion and so is love. Now, you shouldn't really concern yourself with that.
See, and that's why I said I don't really like that question, because when you talk about your own authenticity, it has nothing to do with anybody else and how they feel about you.
Nope.
Right? It's only on you. So you wondering about the hate and love and if it's on the same measure and stuff, it doesn't even matter, because when you are who you are and so hardly that is you're not really concerning about who's attracted to that. It is just you. Now, you may see the benefits of being you, and you may see how people stand off because of you being you, but it doesn't matter. Your north is still going to be your north, right? And you're going to go now. Now, you can evolve, because we're human beings where we process different information, we apply it or we don't apply it, but at the same time, it's not for anybody else. It's for the person or the picture of you that you feel like is the best, and does it match where you're headed or how you like to be, and it doesn't involve anybody else.
Right. Exactamente. Okay, caller, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate y'all, for real.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for supporting the show, brother. All right, take it easy. All right. So guys, call in 919. Jay Bizzle with the $9.99 super chat. He says, Zag, jump on this bandwagon, pause, and roll with the greats. Alabama roll.
Oh,
y'all on that college football shit.
High tide.
Roll.
Baby. True to the green and orange, baby.
Call in 647-9392.
I'll tell you guys this, if you have the type of personality that is just you, you'll have people that say you are an asshole straight up. And then you have people that just love you, So if you're always trying to bend to whoever tickles the ear, the next, like Miles says, the inconsistency comes in, all this other stuff, and you have lost your own personality. You lost yourself. So don't worry about the good. Don't worry about the bad. In fact, if we take it into a sports analogy, a lot of professional sports players that do really well say they don't get too high on the highs and too highs on the lows. They just stay consistently on how they play. And if they feel like they need to get better, they work to get better. And that's it. They don't go too high on what people are saying or too low on what people are saying. So,
right. Exactly. And as a man, that's how it should be, because, people's opinions change all the time. You understand? And I mean, present company accepted. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But remember, y'all could be listening to us and be like, "Guy, I love the Manhood is a Skill Set show." And then one day, one of us is on here and we say some shit that strikes a chord in your soul the wrong way, and then you like, "Man, fuck them niggas." But guess what? Either way, we gon' continue to do the show, regardless of how you feel in particular. And so this is why, as a man, like K-Zaggin said, the attaboys and all the adulation, that's cool. But trust me, I can hear the fuck Miles Cunningham too. I can hear all that. I hear it all. But is that going to stop me from doing what I do? Am I going to not do my content? Am I going to not show up tomorrow, Real Game No Theory? Am I going to not do my fucking shea butter? Am I going to not, make my fucking soap and show y'all in the screen every time I get a chance? No, because check it out. Whether it's fuck me or celebrate me, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, because that's the consistency of my character. And to go with the show, I can't let a woman's opinion control me. But for that matter, I can't let anyone's opinion control me. You see what I'm saying? The only opinion that matters is mine.
Because I think they said there's a saying, if you live for the cheers, you'll die with the booze.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I've been telling you guys, and let me just say this. When women know that you can be moved by words or with words, you're easily controllable.
Yep.
Right? And this is where it's okay to have a healthy ego, but when you have low self-esteem, or you're insecure, or you lack self-assuredness, you have a fragile ego.
Yeah.
And you constantly need your ego stroked. Pause. You constantly need it stroked to make you feel good about yourself. You constantly need it fed, right? So this is kind of like when guys say, like, I had a client one time, he felt some type of way about approaching women because he didn't have a car at the time. And he didn't feel secure in himself. So he went and bought himself a BMW, and all of a sudden he had this manufactured house made of cards confidence based on this car, right? But even then, all it took was for that car to be totaled in an accident or to be in a shop for an unspecified amount of time, and he would have stopped talking to women. Because who you are, your identity is built on a house of cards, and you need the adulation, you need the validation, you need kind words from a woman to make you feel good as a man. Do you know how weak you are? And here's the thing. Women can sense that you're that guy, right? So a lot of you guys, when you're dealing with women can say shit to you. They can say how they feel in the moment, not what they really think, and you will buy it, right? Because you're so hard up for women saying nice things to you to make you feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
And that's not the way to be.
Exactly.
Like even a woman telling you love you, not to you, but even a woman telling you that she loves you, that's, oh my God, you love me. Oh my God. Oh God, I feel so. Thank you for that shit. You be like, all right. Bro, all right.
Man, let me tell you, I'd rather a woman do what I say than tell me she love me. I swear to you.
I don't.
A woman don't have to tell me I love you. Just
bro.
Bro, when they say it, it's like a caution thing for me. Like, what?
You're like, huh? Like, what you want? What's wrong? What, bitch? Like, what's going on with you?
You trying to okey doke me right now? You think I'm a square, huh? It ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Shit, love who? What you talking about?
What? I heard pretty girls in my house talking about okay, I love you, and get off the phone.
Okay.
Like,
hey, you know what, gentlemen? If a woman, because I've had women tell you, I think I'm falling in love with you, and I'm like, because my thing is, because the next thing I'm gonna do is give you a task. How much you love me?
How much?
Show me. Don't tell me. Show me. Because if I tell you to do something and you fight me on it, what them words mean to me?
Yeah.
Those are hollow words.
Hollow
Those words don't mean shit to me when you don't know how to listen. Fuck
Right.
your love. I need that respect, because that
Yep.
respect is gonna make you listen, not them words you talking about.
Facts.
When I was a lesser man of myself, I would play off of that word. They'd be like, "Oh, I love you."
Most guys do.
And I would say, you know what? Love, that's a strong word of feelings and emotions. And even though I have strong feelings and emotions for you, I don't know if I could call it love yet.
Mm.
And that would suffice for a while, because usually when they say they love you, they're ready for some relationship, some sort of thing going on. And I knew when I got to that point, like, all right, well, here we go. I know where we at right now. Well, I don't want this relationship, so let me give you this line, and I would repeat it over, and I had it down pat.
Bro, you know what it is? How I take it out that we're talking about this? When a woman, when it's unprovoked or unsolicited, and she just tells you, I think I'm falling in love with you, she has an agenda.
Yeah.
She has a motherfucking. That's why I always, when I was in high school, when chicks would tell me that, it got to the point where I would put my finger on it, look. I would literally put my finger.
Remember that part of Major Payne when he was like, "What's your angle, boy?"
There you go.
What's your angle?
Please. All right, come on now. Stop playing with me, right? Don't show me. Just be about it. Just do everything I say without challenging, without any reluctance, and we golden.
We
right?
good. Yeah.
And we golden. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he says, Phoenix says, it might not have no effect early in life, but do you think rejection wear down a person over time and will start to affect the? Okay, I can't even finish this shit.
Again,
yeah, I got it.
Phoenix, again, rejection is an expression of someone's opinion. Once again, don't let a woman's opinions control you. Meaning, don't let anyone's opinions affect what you think of yourself. So to answer your question, if it starts to wear down a person over time, that is an indicator of the weakness of that man's masculine identity. That's all. It's just weakness, bro.
It's look, guys, and I need guys to understand something. If a woman telling you no, or a woman rejecting your romantic and or sexual advances, if that bothers you, that means this woman, who is a complete stranger to you, she holds sway over your emotional state.
Right.
She can impact how you feel about yourself by simply telling you, I'm not interested.
Exactly.
Do you know how weak of a mind you have to have as a man to allow that to go down? Okay, you are a weak individual if a woman telling you no impacts your feelings.
Right.
I'll tell you this, Phoenix. I understand what you're saying right now. I understand. Rejection is a part of life, right? You got at her. She said no. You got at somebody else. They said no. And they said a no a lot of times to you. And now you don't even want to get at anybody. You just want to just sit there and live a lonely life because you are afraid to get at anybody else because you let their reality determine and set your reality. Instead of you saying, all right, that person might have rejected me for whatever reasons, because you don't know why.
You don't know why.
You really don't know why. And sometimes it can be the silliest thing
and shouldn't even care
in the world. The silliest thing in the world. I had somebody reject me one time. We had a cool little conversation. And come to find out, I seen her one day because I gave her the number. Hey, you didn't call me. When I seen her, I said, hey, what's up, girl? You didn't call me. She looked at me because when she looked at me, she smiled, went up to me and forgot that she didn't call me. I said, you didn't? She's like, oh, well, you tried to get at my girl. And I said, who? Now, seriously, the girl she told me I tried to get at was some girl that when I was walking by, she was sitting with the group and I smiled at her. But I was walking by, I smiled at her. Girl was not my type at all. little too fluffy for Jay Roman. Okay. Now, you know, for me.
Right.
And that was the reason. And that girl went and told her, oh, he tried to get at me when he walked by. And you know, I think he likes us both and all sorts of stuff. And she's telling me this. And I'm sitting here like, nah, that wasn't the case. It wasn't
all because you smiled at her?
All because I smiled at her.
Yo.
All because I smiled at her.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the effect that Jay Roman smiles got on these bitches. You feel me?
I just want to point out, this is the power of the fantasy that women create in their own mind. She went and created a whole fucking fantasy in her mind based off a smile. But Jay Roman, guess who else does that? These guys.
Yeah. So that rejection, though, that rejection right there was for some reason out of my control, didn't know anything about, and probably wouldn't have known anything about it the next time I seen the person. And the person wasn't like they didn't want to involve themselves with me, because later on we sure did. But at the same time, you know, am I supposed to take that rejection to heart?
Right.
To now be a part of my whole life, you know, affect a guy's life. That's a long time. My whole life, am I supposed to be down on that rejection or any rejections out of all these? Come on, man. You got this mental fortitude is the thing. And the thing is, us guys on here, we live in reality. We understand that people get rejected, understand that. But the thing is, where's your balance at? Where's your mental fortitude? Where's your thought line where you say, I'm putting myself in front of all that? Like, I look in the mirror, I know what I feel like. If I know what I'm looking at when I look in the mirror, ain't nobody can tell me no different. You know your good parts, your bad parts, parts you need to work out in. Like, you know you. So if you come up and you look in the mirror and you say, man, I'm an ugly dude, that's the type of personality you're gonna put out there. So if you get rejected, then why are you surprised? So it's still your reality. People don't understand. You still kick your reality out there. It projects, your reality projects. And so that's the thing, man. Start having that balance. I look in the mirror, shit, I'm a sexy motherfucker. You know, when I walk out the door, that's how I feel.
But Jay Roman, a lot of guys, they need women to say that for them to think that. And even then, they still won't believe it, because 10 women can call them sexy. All it takes is one to say you're not, and then their whole little facade will fall apart. Palm trees, you need to call in, because we already answered this question. You guys listening to this career woman, will she need to quit her job and all that goofy ass shit? Bro, call in. Call in. Okay, so hold on real quick. So he says, how many red flags should a woman give? I mean, should I give a woman I really like before I charge her? One.
Especially the ones you really like. You need to learn how to cut that shit short early. Stop playing.
See, and it goes back to you guys not having the discipline. The discipline to say she isn't for me. Look, guys, when you're actually compatible with a woman, you're feeling her, she's feeling you, she makes things easy. She makes things so easy, you begin to question the ease at which shit is going. Like, fucking easy.
Is it me?
Yeah, you begin to, like, this shit is too easy, right?
Is it her or is it my game?
Right? Well, sometimes not even your game. She just feeling you so heavily, you can damn near do no wrong. But here's the thing. You got to understand, when a woman is really, really feeling you and she wants to make it happen, she's on her best behavior because she doesn't want to upset the apple cart. So if you're talking about how many red flags, bro, now here's the thing. Here's my disclaimer, right? There's going to be shit that women do where she's not intending to be disrespectful. She's not intending to kind of upset the situation, but it's usually going to be something small where you be like, hey, look, hey, we don't do that over here. But if a woman is doing shit that's blatant, that you know for a fact this is some disrespectful or discourteous shit, bro, zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. Yeah, y'all have to have a lot more dignity, right? Because a lot of times when you see red flags and you continue to deal with women, it's because you have no dignity, right? And you compromise your self-respect for pussy.
Yeah, they drought. The drought drowned out the dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens, Zag. Like, you know, I love hearing these brothers speak on this panel because they've been doing this for so long. And these youngsters, in their head, she's so fine. She fine. She like the finest woman I ever messed with. And we starting to talk, and she shows me a red flag, but at the same time, she apologized. And oh, she's so fine. And I had a drought. I had a little bit of a drought. And you know, I got this fine woman on my arm. My boys are saying she fine and all stuff. So she got the butterfly freaking eyelashes, and she know how to do her makeup and all this other stuff. And then she just did this one thing. You know, she kind of said something kind of crazy in front of my boys, but that was just one thing. I talked to her. She said she apologized, and then, you know, she did another thing, but that little thing was small. You know, it was just small, and then it just adds up, and it dominoes effects. And next, you know, you're with a disrespectful woman because you thought she was fine. You had a drought, and so you let the drought get, you know, cover the dignity, and now you're with a woman that she fine. Yeah, you got pretty girl problems.
She don't respect you,
but you still got problems with no respect. So I know y'all don't see it. You know, and some of y'all got to learn through experience, and some of y'all smart enough where you can listen to somebody, see the logic in it, and learn from it. If you cut it off from the first time, you will save yourself a lot of problems.
Look, let me say this. I have an ex, and I know she's still watching shit, but I have an ex, and this was after me and her were done with each other. She was, and I told this story a couple of times. She was dealing with this dude. And, you know, at the time, they were just in the beginning stages of dealing with each other. And he had come over to her crib, and he got mad about something, and he snatched the cable box out the wall. Right? She's telling me this shit. She snatched the shit. He snatched the shit out the wall. And I told her, I said, yo, he's going to go upside your head. I said, that's going to happen next. Right? But because she was really, really sexually attracted to this guy, and this guy was like her physical type, you know, tall, muscular dude. She ignored that shit. She ignored the red flag. Next thing you know, not only is the dude putting his hands on her, but he pulling straps on her and shit. He went and cloned her phone. So every time she got a phone call, he heard all the phone calls. Every time she texted or got a text from somebody, he saw all the shit. And then she came to me with that shit. And I'm like,
who the fuck is KZ?
I'm like, what do you, because you ignored that red flag. So usually what happens is when you ignore red flags, it's going to manifest itself to something bigger later, right? But because you're so wrapped up in your feelings about something, you allow that shit to snowball, and it manifests itself into something greater because you never set the boundaries. And sometimes when people do shit, it's so egregious that it's not even worth checking. You just got to stop fucking with them.
Yep.
Period. Yeah. You just got to, it's kind of like if you're dealing with a woman and y'all are talking and you say something to her and you're like, hey, look, when you talking to me, you need to chill. Why you acting like a bitch? Yo, you can't fuck with her no more.
Yeah.
You can, no, it's not even about checking her. You can't, see, the only time you check a chick.
I don't even like calling it, hey, bro, don't call me bro.
Yeah, don't call me bro. Don't call me nigga. I don't like a woman that don't call me any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But real quick, the only time you really check a chick is when she does something and she might not know it's disrespectful, and it's not. You don't really deem it as disrespectful,
right?
But you understand if you don't check it, how it can snowball to something later. Yeah. But sometimes women do shit that's so egregious, whether they know it or not. She ain't gotta know it's egregious, right? Mm-hmm. Man, you're like, you know what? I gotta stop fucking with her. But y'all, hold on real quick. We good on calls, right, Miles?
Yeah, we good on calls. Guys, call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. When the show's almost over, I'm cutting the phone lines. We ain't doing that fucking OT shit. So please.
So Rick says, how can I speak up to women when I approach? I'm a little on the shy side. You need coaching. And women constantly ask me what I say during the first interaction. You need coaching. Bro, if women got to ask you to speak the fuck up, if women got to act, the only time, look, The only time a woman should be asking you to speak the fuck up is if you guys are in a noisy club or a bar and you whisper in her ear and she's like, I can't hear you. Say that again. Right? That's the only time. But other than that, bro, you should be so dominant in your presence that a woman should hear you loud and clear. Bro, no, fuck speaking from your stomach, nigga. Speak from your testicles, nigga. Let it come up from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
I love the way Chris Rock put it. Chris Rock. I wish I knew the stand-up and the exact title of the stand-up and tell you to go listen to it. But he explained it to me one of the best ways where you can't say some stuff humming and going and
oh yeah, excuse me,
yeah, like, and that's just the way it is. You know, you can't, you don't exude confidence by low speaking. You don't, you know, it's not a good look. And for me, come on, man, like for you to make this statement tells you what you need to work on. So start saying stuff louder and go from there. Like I don't.
We got 769. You're on live on the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got your host K Zag. We also got J Rowan and Miles. Name, age, city. What's up?
Eterius 25, Vicksburg.
Eterius, what's going on, man? How you been, bro?
What up?
Shit, been good.
All right.
Shit, I got a question. You niggas end up saying something about like being unapologetically yourself. Yeah. Like sometimes I'll be having trouble with it just in general.
Okay.
Well, Eterius, because you and I are very familiar with each other on the back end. And you know, it's because, see, the title was for you. That's for you. This title was tailor-made for you, Eterius. You know what I'm saying? You should get this shit put on a t-shirt for yourself, bro. Don't let women's opinions control you, because you know and I know that you are definitely a little too captivated by the beauty of a bitch, right? And because you're so captivated by her beauty, her opinion holds sway over you. See, anytime a person's opinion holds sway over you, you're very mindful and careful with what you say, because you don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to risk the opportunity to smash and shit. So your mind is already shackled up with the fact that, damn, I got to be careful what I say around her because she's so beautiful and I really want her to like me. Eterius, am I lying or am I lying?
Nigga, you not lying.
I know, fam. But y'all got it.
It's go ahead, Miles, if he's gonna say something, man.
Oh no, I'm good. Go. Why are you asking this question, man? What's going on with you?
No, it's just like it basically in general around family, around certain people that I'm around, just even just when I'm out and about, I have trouble just unapologetically being myself.
I think, you know, one of the biggest things I try to do is have balance, right? And read the room, understand what's going on, having tact. There's certain things that you naturally do, not naturally do. Some people don't do it naturally, but certain things that we do, but we still got to have a balance to it, right? So if there's a conversation that's being discussed and you have a strong opinion about it, say your opinion. If you're involved in that conversation, and you got to say it unapologetically, because that's how you really feel. That's how you really think about that subject. To curtail yourself just to please everybody else is not really giving anybody around you the opportunity to really get to know you, the true you. So when you do that, you know, anybody that is attracted to you ain't really attracted to the true you. So it's in the end, it's going to be a wash anyway.
But see, J. Roman, that's where consistency comes in. Because if you introduce yourself to women and you have a mask on or you're camouflaging who you really are because you're trying to be a people pleaser, it's going to come out in a wash that ultimately there's a whole different side of you. So when you get upset or you get angry about something, you're going to show them the real you, right? The inconsistency as to who you are, it comes out in the wash anyway. So and here's the thing. When you're very passive in nature, right? And you're very docile in the way that you deal with women. Women can tell that you don't have a dominant gene in your body. Okay, women can tell that you're not a take charge type of guy. They can tell. And in many cases, they're going to seek to want to lead the interaction. Because here's the thing, this is what guys got to understand. When you hear the saying, femininity yields to masculinity, this is a very true saying. What guys have to understand is that if you show up to women with more of your feminine attributes than your masculine attributes, okay, women have to overcompensate. And they have to show up with more of their masculine attributes than their feminine attributes because the interaction is out of balance, right? So regardless of what you hear women say, okay, women want a masculine leader. They want to be dominated, specifically in the bedroom. But they want a guy who is unquestionably, he's the leader. He's the man that they're going to follow. But when you show up, you're very shy, you're very docile, you're very flexible with the way that you act. Women already know you're not a dominant leader. You don't have an authoritative disposition. So somebody has to lead. Somebody. But y'all got
Eterius.
Yeah.
When you say unapologetic, what do you mean?
Like, such as I be wanting to end up saying certain shit, just behaving how I normally do when I'm at home around others, and I be feeling uncomfortable internally.
What? So you be okay? So what is the thing that you are afraid of? What's the worst that can happen, or what do you imagine that'll happen if you behave in that way that you're comfortable with?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
So why don't you just be yourself and see what happens?
Okay.
What? I remember my brother told me one time, my older brother, I was sitting upstairs afraid to go downstairs and ask my parents something, right? And he told me, and I'll never forget this, he said, the worst answer you can get is where you're already at.
Exactly.
So, and that's the thing I always talk about on the show is, like, ain't y'all seen it? Ain't you seen it go down and you don't act the way you want to act and it turns out the same way?
Right.
So why not try something different? Why not learn how to express yourself? Learn how to. Now, I'm in agreement. Don't go out there and act like a fool. There's people that act like a fool, right? They're themselves, but they act like a fool, and they're looked at like a fool. There's a way. There's a way to express yourself, be who you are, in a smoother, charismatic sort of way. But you're gonna have to figure that out. It's only gonna have to come through the way you figure it out. And you figure it out for you and not for anybody else. I tell you, I was in a situation.
Real quick, Jaron, real quick. Let me just say this, and I'll pass it right back to you. No, that was not his uncle. I talked to Eterius about that. He said he heard that show, and he was at work. He wanted to call up. That wasn't his uncle. That was a troll. But go ahead.
Oh, no, that nigga wasn't my uncle. That Leroy type nigga.
Now, you remember the nigga name, nigga? That was a couple months ago. Goddamn. But,
he had his name in his mouth.
Oh shit! Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Just now, are you talking about being yourself around women you're trying to get at? Being yourself around just people in a conversation, discussion? Like, what are you? Where do you trying to
conversation? Such as I be wanting to. Like, well, it's like what you guys already said. You just end up saying what you got to say if you have like a strong disposition about it within the conversation.
So I used to be in this group that would get together. It was a lot of young professionals that would get together, and it would be at somebody's house every month. And so there'd be guys, there'd be girls there, and they would have these relationship conversations, right? And it really wasn't my sort of vibe because I am who I am. I have my base, but I would watch all these guys tickle the ears of these ladies when conversations come up, right? When conversations and discussions come up about, being treated in words and all this other stuff. And the dude would be like, yeah, well, I feel like a man should do this. And then the lady would say something and he'd be like, no, I agree. What I was trying to say was, and they would always change what they would say. And then here comes me, right? And I would voice my opinion. Truly, dudes be looking at me like, damn, dog, you said it like that. Now, the crazy part about it was inside afterwards and during it, ladies would be pissed at me. They wouldn't even want to talk to me or whatever. But that's how I felt.
But on the back end.
But on the back end, I would hear people call, like, you know what? I was hearing what you were saying, and and you know, all the dudes were like, man, I wouldn't have said it like that, you know. But at the same time, it's not about anybody else, and I think that's the hard part for you guys to understand. Everybody is so worried about what other people think of them, but you're not worried about what you think of you. And I think that's the biggest thing. Worry about how you think of you and how you represent yourself.
Right. Is
your result just to be pleased by others, or is your result to understand and lay down your head and be pleased by yourself? To say, you know what? Shit, I like who I am. When you can say that, I like who I am, and I represent myself the way I
love who I am.
That's it. And you guys got to get to that point. But as you're trying to get to that point, you're trying to get to that point by appeasing other people. Because a lot of you guys have this action-based thing, like, hey, if I become myself and think for myself, will other people like me?
Yeah.
Like that's against the whole point. It's against the whole point.
No, it's about you. It's about you liking you. Shout out to Lord Jefferson with the Canadian $27.99. Salute, brothers. Appreciate you, brother.
Nah, niggas really be on that shit. Be like, yo, if I develop my masculine identity, I bet you that'll make the bitches want me. And it's bro,
it's not about that.
Shout out to Lord Jefferson with the $27.99 Canadian. He says, salute, brothers. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate it.
That's California.
Even if family don't end up liking the person that you end up becoming.
Say that again.
I say, even if family don't like the person that you end up becoming.
Man, yo, man. I love my family, but fuck them.
So, Eterius, so what?
Come on, man.
So you think that the person you supposed to be based on your family's judgment is more important than the person you trying to be because you trying to be?
No, I think the person I want to be is more important than my family.
So why did you ask that question just now then?
Because I thought that if my family don't end up liking who I am, then I can't.
Yeah, it's starting not to make no fucking sense as you hear yourself say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
My mama didn't like it.
Look. Hold on. Let me find that shit again. I gotta find this shit again. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick. There we go, right there. Terry, this is for you. You can't live your life based on other people's opinion of you or let that change what you do or how you feel about yourself, because then you're not living. A lot of you guys, you're just existing. This is why y'all lives are so uneventful. This is why you're not really truly being all you can be with your life. And what's holding you back is, again, your mindset is shackled because you're worried about what other people think about you. When you worry about what other people think about you, it literally changes the direction and trajectory of your life, because your decision making is impacted because you're thinking, well, if I do this or if I say that, how is she or he going to think about it? Man, fuck them. And I mean that in the most respectful way when it comes to my family. Fuck them. Look, God bless the dead. Me and my mama, we used to have these very interesting moments when it came, because she used to always kind of carry. You need to really start caring what your family thinks and you know, our opinions. And I said, Mama.
She used to say that?
Yeah, bro. I
Wow.
said, Mama. I said, I love you, Mama. But I'm not like your other sons. Yeah, your opinion matters. I said, I respect your opinion, but your opinion don't really matter to me. Right? And I told my mama this. Your opinion don't really matter to me. I respect it, but it don't matter to me. And I would tell her, Mom, you had your opportunity. You had your chance. That chance is over. Okay, meaning you had your opportunity and chance to raise me, right? When I was a youngin'. I'm a grown man now. I am who I am, right? So I'm not going to change because you felt like or you feel like I should be considerate of y'all's opinions, right? And you know, it came to fruition that my mom, after a while, she just understood that just how Carrie is, right? So a lot of you might be the black sheep of your family, right? And understand it's about being the black sheep of your family. All that really means is you are the most truthful and authentic person in your family. And that's why you're viewed a certain way, because you don't care what they think. You say exactly what's on your mind, and you don't give a fuck how they take it.
I was the most disrespectful, respectful child my parents could have. And I say that because outwardly I was so respectful. I was a good son, a great son. But I was a sneaky son. I was the one that I come back with the Bible in my hand. We was just praying, but we were not. So, like, there's a lot of things when you're growing up. That to me is your time period where you experience stuff and you start to say who you really want to be. And it's so much easier to be exactly that. Your parents, to me, the responsibility of a parent is to love you no matter what goes on, what happens. You know, you hit your head, you do some things, your parents are going, hey, they're going to love you no matter what.
I appreciate the $4.99, but I'm not reading that shit.
You know, so my mom, I always had this thing we got, because we have real conversations, real conversations. A lot of times you have to realize that you will never be your mom's husband. And your mom will never be your wife.
Real talk.
The love you felt from her was from a mother to son, but yet she's giving you advice on how to treat and act with women. But she will never be your woman.
Right.
And the thing is that, yeah, I'm not saying her advice is not valid, but like all advice, it's just advice and statements that you still have to process. It's not all gold, everything that's said, because she will never hold the position and do the things that in which you would want a woman to do. So my thing is, you got to still live for yourself, because it don't matter if your mom say, marry this person and do this. You're the one that has to deal with it. You're the one that has to be with that person or whatever from the decisions that you made following their advice or whatever. You got to have your own opinions about things.
Yeah, real quick. My mother never really gave me dating advice, but one of the things that my mama told me about one of my exes, she put me to the side and she was like, son, you have a weak woman. Right. And the reason why my mama told me that is because this young lady, I guess she had, you know, went behind my back and was complaining about me rather, to my mother. And my mother was like, you got a weak woman. Right. And that's, let me just say this. I want to say this real quick. Hey, this is why, and from that particular time, this is why I'm real particular about guys. When you deal with a woman and you got a woman who will put business in the street, she will talk about y'all shit to other people. Yeah. Right. Not only is that disrespectful, but it's also disloyal. Right. It's also disloyal. I'll just say this and I'll pass it back to you guys. In any relationship I've ever had, I've never told my family members or my boys about my situation with women. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it was just some casual shit, I may have talked about that. But if it came to any woman I was in a serious relationship or marriage with, I never talked about our shit. Right. And even, you know, when I got divorced from my last woman, there were people who didn't know for months later that I was actively going through a divorce, because I don't be talking about shit. Right. I keep my business to myself, and I don't believe in putting people on blast, and I don't believe in putting business in the streets. Right. Because again, for me, it's about loyalty. OK, you keep your if here's the thing, and older people will tell you this. You never share the inner workings of your relationship or marriage with other people. The only two people that are in that relationship are you and that other person.
Facts.
Period. Right. So
all right,
Joe Blast with the 5. The heavy game is fuck. Okay, go ahead. No bad.
Terrence, we gonna that's it, man. We're gonna let you go. Call in next time, all right?
I got you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the question, bro. Take it easy.
Well, also here's the deeper aspect of your woman. Okay, and I need you guys to understand what I'm about to say, because he said this about people being nosy. Okay, it's not so much about that. I want guys to understand something. If your woman is willing to share intimate details about your relationship and about the things you talk about, if she's willing to share that with other people, that means she's open to the influence of other people.
Exactly.
She's open to being influenced by their opinions. So once a woman does that, once she goes and she starts telling other people about y'all shit, whether it's your family members, like if you got a chick that's really cool with your mama or your sister or one of your female cousins, right?
Yeah.
She's open to being influenced by them. What that means is she don't respect you, period, right? Because if she respected you, she would understand that her opening herself up to be influenced by others, she don't respect your influence enough, right? She don't respect it enough. And I would say your leadership and your authority in that relationship has been compromised. And that's just how I view that shit.
Right.
I remember my mom told me she don't want to meet no more women that I bring around.
my mama told me that shit too, bro.
It's too many. She says it's too many. I don't want to meet no more.
She used to say, stop introducing me to these hustlers.
Yeah.
I'm tired of meeting these hoes.
Yeah, my mama used to tell me that shit.
She ain't gonna be here next month.
She ain't gonna be
here. Pretty much.
Oh shit.
Pretty much. Because my mama knew I was running through them, so she like, stop introducing me to these hussies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do any more questions, or we good?
Yeah, we got some questions. Real quick, guys, we're about to close shop, y'all. So hold on, real quick. Rejection. Hold on.
I like that career question. I know we just ain't got a lot of time for it, and it's been addressed. Maybe we can do that on a different day. But because it was several guys in the comments that talked about, dating women with careers and all this other stuff, and I think that's a reality.
No, it was the same guy. It was the same guy.
It was the same guy, the same dude. Because I seen a couple other guys. So
yeah.
Ben, find a woman that likes a boring man. That's all.
Yeah, y'all gotta, guys. There are women out here who don't run the streets. They're not the party girls. They don't drink. They don't smoke. They're not always trying to be on the scene and be seen. Right? There are chicks that are homebodies. They love curling up on the couch, watching a movie and shit with their man. And to them, that quality time at home with their man, curled up on the couch, watching a movie together, talking shit about what they're seeing, to them, those small gestures, those moments where they get to spend time with you means the world to them. Okay, fuck with that kind of chick. If you're dealing with a chick who always wants you to take her out, she always wants to be entertained by you, that might not be the type of chick you need to fuck with. Like, y'all cool on that?
Yeah.
That's the answer for that one.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, y'all need to hold on real quick. There you go. Miles, you want to show that clip again before we get up out of here?
Oh yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Hold on.
Did you direct that, Miles? That seemed like you directed that.
In
your private time.
Miles got his hands all over it.
Yes,
private time.
All right, here we go. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Let me show you what you can do with this butter. Yeah. Some of y'all missed the 2 fingers. I just want to let y'all know.
Yes, sir. Shout out to
yeah. Some of y'all missed the 2 fingers.
Hey, I said the same thing. I don't know if that was done with a certain thing in mind, Miles. But when I saw them 2 fingers, I know where my mind went to.
Yeah. The only thing missing was the thumb in that. Only thing missing was the thumb. Only thing missing was the thumb. That's all, man. Y'all.
I got. Hey, appreciate it, man. And then of course, make sure you get the look. This is my Teach Hanley kit. The soap and the shea butter, nigga. You know, wash your skin and then moisturize with the shea butter. You be good. You don't need all that extra Teach Hanley bullshit, the night cream and the day cream and all that. You don't need all that shit. Wash your ass and then moisturize. That's it.
There you go. Because they trying to do dudes like women. They got all these different things you're supposed to put on yourself and shit. Like, stop it.
Stop it.
Don't Steve the Dean got a video about how to properly clean and wash up?
Probably,
He might. But y'all go fuck with Steve the Dean. You know what I'm saying? Definitely subscribe to the homie if you're not. Right now, tomorrow, Sunday, the Real Game No Theory podcast, myself, motherfucking Miles Cunningham, Lucario, 1950, Steve the Dean. Come fuck with us at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern.
Yes,
On that
sir.
note, we're about to get up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Peace.
Peace.